So hi guys, my name is Jaleese, and of course this is Infinite Modesty Design. So I haven't been doing a live for such a while, but I'm so grateful, sorry, for being on here today. Who is Infinite Modesty Design? We are a sewing and fashion school. We actually just reopened our sewing studio in Toronto, so which is really heavy for me. It's really good for me actually after COVID. So for those who have no clue who we are located in Toronto, or the Etobicoke. That's where my studio is located, and we teach you sewing classes. If you want to learn online, we teach you online as well. Just contact us, and then we'll definitely work out a structure for you itself. All right, so I'm excited today because I'm going to be doing a quick DIY project. It's a hair crunchy. Very easy, guys. Very basic. Very basic. All right. I have lots of them for my daughter. Sometimes I put them in my hair as well. I don't know if you can see my hair here, but I use them all the time. And you could make longer ones. This is like a hair band itself. But for those who are on my email list, yes, I offer a free pattern. So this is our pattern, Infinite Modesty Design pattern. It's a free pattern for the hair crunchy. All you need to do, the instruction is there for the pattern. It's just a long pattern. You put them together because I know some people, not everyone is 100% accurate with the measurement, and that's fine. So that's why I have the free pattern for you guys today. You could definitely connect the pattern. So this is how it is here. If you guys watching me and you don't know how to connect the pattern, or you don't have the pattern, you could just send me an email or just message me, let me know that you need the pattern, and then I'll get you on my email list, and then you'll get the pattern itself to download. All right. So the pattern, you could just connect it. So basically it's tell you here how to connect it. I will do another live itself, or I will send out by email how to connect it. It's very simple. If you do not have the pattern, the hair crunchy pattern, and you want the pattern, it's absolutely free from Infinite Modesty Design. Let us know, and we'll get you on the list to get the pattern itself today. I may send out just a connection of how to connect the pattern for those who may not know how to connect the pattern, but it's very simple. The measurement for the pattern is 5 inches in width, and the length is 22 or 26 or 30. So you can make it as long or as short as you want. All right. So let's get started. Alrighty. So like I mentioned, we'll be making a hair crunchy today for those who joining me live. So thank you so much for joining me. For those who joining me live here, you could definitely say hi where you're connecting with us from. My goal is to try to do live more often. I haven't been doing live for a while, and I feel that I need to be doing it more. Absolutely. So let me just go straight into the preparation of what you need itself for your hair crunchy. This is a very easy project, guys. So easy. So you need your pattern. So again, from the free pattern, you could actually cut it out and connect your pattern itself. So if we connect our pattern, you also need your elastic. So just get yourself, how I measure the elastic, very simple. I put it around my hand like this, right? And I just leave a little couple of inches to do the seam allowance itself. So if you're doing it for a child, you probably want to do the same thing. Just measure it around there, measure it around the hand like this, and then you just leave a couple inches because you know it's stretchy, right? So which is very good there. And then you want to get yourself some pins, definitely here. All righty. So I have some here prepared already. So I would actually just show you how to prepare the first step. Let me get my pencil here and my measuring tape that is on the floor. There you go. All right, guys. So if you're joining me live, say hello. I would love to hear you. We do have teach sewing classes in Toronto. We are at 2965 Islington Avenue for those who want to learn in-person classes. Okay, so I have my fabric here, guys. Okay, so what I'm going to do, this is the right size facing you. Let's put it like that. So the right side is facing you right now. So that means the wrong side is facing me. I'm going to close the pattern, the fabric, right sides to right sides. Okay, so right sides to right sides, just like this. Very simple, very basic. And what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to measure 2.5 inches down from this end and 2.5 inches down from that end. So I'm trying to do it more in the air so everyone could actually see because I have the screen in front of me. So 2.5 inches down for my tape measurement. So 2.5 inches down. So I'm going to measure it from here. 2.5 inches down. And I'm going to mark that 2.5 inches down on the fabric itself. So let me go ahead and do that right now. So 2.5 inches down. I'm going to do that on each side. Right, so I mark my 2.5 inches down on one side here. Okay, my tape measurement fall. Then I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other end here as well. Okay, remember we're making a very basic hair crunchie, very, very simple DIY. Let's say you're ready to go to bed, but you remember that, you know what, I didn't make my hair crunchie for my daughter or for myself. You could do it in like 5-10 minutes and go to bed after. I don't know where I get that from, but anyway, that's just a little joke there. But 2.5 inches down from this side, that's to tell you how easy it is to make. That's what I'm trying to actually emphasize here. So 2.5 inches down here, okay? So 2.5 inches down here, 2.5 inches down. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to take my pin and I'm going to pin from that 2.5 inches down to 2.5 inches down. Okay. So that means I'm going to leave 2.5 inches open on this side and 2.5 inches open on that side. So this is what I'm going to do here today. So I'm just going to pin it up like this. I'm going to pin it down to make sure. And some people would ask me, do I have to use pin? You know what, guys? If you're comfortable and you could sew a straight line without pins, go right ahead. Alrighty. But for my beginners, I always teach beginners, and I have beginners in mind when I teach. I always want to make sure that everything is in line, and that's exactly how it is. So we're going to go 2.5 inches down from that pin. So I'm going to pin that 2.5 inches down here up to my 2.5 inches down on this end here. Okay. All right. So from here, this spot is open to down here. This spot is open, right sides touching right sides. I'm gonna sew 1/2 inch down. Okay. Now, if you want your hair crunchie to be a little bit bigger, and you say, you know what, I want maybe a little bit I want to sew my seam allowance less than 1/2 inch, that's fine as well. There is no strictness there. Okay, so I'm gonna turn around on my screen here so you could see what I'm doing. All right. So we're gonna go 1/2 inch down from the and guys, always remember to take out your pin just for safety. You don't want any trouble with the pin break, and a lot of things could happen. So I would always suggest, if you're a beginner, take out your pins as you sew. There you go. Okay, so 1/2 inch. Take out my first pin here, and then we're gonna go down. Again, the sewing pattern, I have it in the email. If you're on my email list, check your email. You would get the free sewing pattern from Infinite Modesty Design. Again, we're going to take out our pins here, and we're only doing 1/2 inch down. Okay, guys, there you go. Take out my pins. So for those who've been asking, are we in person? Yes, we are. We offer in-person class. If you're online and you want online class, we still offer that, of course. Definitely contact us to any means. I'll definitely respond to your message or your email itself. All right, so all done. All done here. Okay, so let me just twist back my screen here. So all done here with our sewing. So the next thing we're going to do here now, let me see if I have my pins. I have it right here. Okay, so I'm going to take my pin here now, and I'm going to turn this. What I've noticed, some of my students may have issues with turning it, and that's okay if you've never done it before. So I'm going to take the pin here, and I'm going to pin it down. You could pin it down this way, you can pin it down the other way. It doesn't really matter. The goal is that you want to pin it down to the very end. All right. Then I'm going to shove the head down. So I'm going to turn it like this, and I'm going to push my pin down in the fabric. So this is how I'm going to do it, because some people may have issue with that. So I'm pushing the pin down. See, I'm just pushing the pin down, pushing that pin down, pushing that pin down. So as I push the pin down, then I'm going to hold the pin and pull up the fabric that I pushed down. Okay. All right, so I'm going to do a little bit more now. So again, I'm holding the pin again, and I'm going to push everything down, push it down, all the way down. Then I'm going to hold the pin, guys, and then I'm going to pull the fabric that I pushed down. Make sure you hold the pin. That's the secret there, so everything doesn't go back up again. I got to make sure that the pin don't bust as well, because you got to do the whole story all over again. So you see, I pull it up a bit. Now again, I'm going to push it down again. So I'm going to push it down nicely, push it down here. And then I come to the end. I have some threads here. Let me pull out the threads. Okay. So again, find my pin, push it down all the way down. So now it's to the end here, guys. I'm going to hold my pin and my fabric firmly, then I'm going to pull everything out. Now, if you're using a very stiff fabric, it would be very hard to pull out. But in this case, I'm using the fabric is not so stiff. So now everything is turned to the other side. See? Very nice. Okay. So now I'm going to take out my pin. The next thing I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to pin this end here to this end here. So this is how I'm going to do it first, because I want to seal the both ends first. Okay, so this is how I did it here. So I'm going to actually do it on the live just to make sure you understand. Not everyone might be able to just grasp this. So you don't have to iron it or anything, because the hair crunchie is going to be crunched up in your hair anyway, so there's no point to iron. So this is the front here with the opening here. Okay, now I'm going to put it right sides to right, so open it like this, and I'm going to bring two of them together like this, and I'm going to be pinning this this edge here, right sides touching right sides. Okay, so I'm going to take my pin like this, and I'm going to pin it down, making sure everyone could see. And every time you're trying to pin, guys, you don't just want to pin anyhow. You want to make sure you pin level to level, so edge to edge. So this edge must touch this edge. Make sure it's level, and then you pin. That's how it goes. Okay, then this edge must touch this edge, level to level, and then you pin. All right, now I'm saying this, you may say, okay, well, I know that, but listen, I teach beginners, right? And so not just simple pinning straight like that could be a stress, and that's why many beginners will come to my class to learn, and I'm happy to let them know that. So just to let you know, it's not just I'm going to pin anyhow, because many people will just pin, and then one pin will be up, one pin will be down, and so on and so forth. You want to make sure it's level to level, and then you pin, and you get a nice smooth pinning all the way around. All right, okay, so there you go. So again, guys, if you want the sewing pattern is in my email. Send me a message itself. You would have to send your email, and I will send the pattern itself for you. It's absolutely free. So this is pretty much how it is, right? That's how it is here. Okay, so what you're gonna do now is to take your time, because this is a little bit curvy, so it's a little bit challenging there. And you're gonna sew. You don't have to sew half an inch. You could actually sew just quarter of an inch. The goal is that I just want to make sure you sew across here to make sure you get the fabric connecting together. All right, so I'm gonna turn on my camera here. Hopefully you can see me nicely here. Alrighty, and I'm gonna sew it down again. Okay, so it's taking longer because of course I'm talking and explaining, but guys, this is a very easy, very basic project itself. So let's go. So again, you want to take out your pin every time you sew, especially as a beginner. Don't say, you know what, I'm a pro, I don't have to use pin. Use your pin until you feel comfortable that you may not need, but you know what, I use pin all the time. So there you go. So I'm just gonna sew across, take my time, take out the pin. Take my time, take out my pins. Take my time, take out my pins. We're gonna sew all the way across nicely. All right, hopefully everyone can see what I'm doing here. Come across, take out my pins right here. And I come to the end and I do my what? Back stitch. So remember, back stitch in the beginning and back stitch in the end. Very, very critical to ensure that you master your back stitch, of course, in the beginning and the end of your sewing. All right, so there you go. Okay, so now what I'm going to do here now. So this is done. Okay, so I'm just going to pull it up like this. That part is done. Okay, my next step now is to prepare my elastic. All right, let me see if I supposed to have two pins. Okay, and I told you guys how to measure the elastic already. So I'm going to put one pin on this end here for the elastic. So one pin on this end and one pin on the other end here. Now I have a small pin and a big pin. So the smaller one, I'm going to actually hook it onto the mouth of the fabric here, because I want everything to go around. And the other one, I'm going to push it to shove it down in the fabric itself. So I want to get my elastic on. So now I'm going to take my pin here, guys, and I'm just going to pin it at the very edge of my fabric here. Simple as that. So you see it's hooked onto the fabric. Now I'm going to take this and just push it all the way around until it come back to this end. That's all. And it's the same method, guys. You push the pin down, you push the fabric up, you push the pin down, and then you pull the fabric up. See? Simple as that. Voila, 1, 2, 3. So again, I'm going to continue pushing the pin down. So again, for those who want to learn to sew and you are in Toronto, I would say, we are in the Etobicoke area to be more specific, because I know some people want to hear Toronto, they think downtown. We are not downtown. We are on Islington and Finch area. So if you live Brampton, Mississauga area, it's perfect for you. If you live in Toronto area, depends on where you live, it's perfect for you as well. Okay, so there you go. I'm going to push everything down here nicely. So it's almost there. So now pulling it out. And voila, my pin is here. Okay, so this is critical now because you don't want to lose the elastic. So I have my pin here, right? And I am going to pull this one out here, okay? And carefully take out my pin. And make sure that my elastic is not loose. I don't lose my elastic. So I'm going to also take out this pin as well. So both of them I'm going to remove. Then I'm going to take a regular pin now, and I'm going to pin it down because I want to seal this area down. Now, if you have a machine and it does zigzag, you could also just do zigzag, back, forth, just to make sure you get this elastic really tight. Because when you have it in your hair, you don't want it to bust out and the whole thing is scattered, right? So you want to make sure that you pin it down. And you. So I'll be doing some back and forth, back stitch, front stitch, back stitch, over and over on this elastic here. So again, let me turn my camera so you can see very well. All right, right here. So I am gonna put my fabric down. I'm gonna walk first because I have my pin there. So I'm gonna just do walk and back stitch here. So get some, just to get at least a stitch down before I take out my pin. All right, it's very, very good to do that. Okay. All right, now I'm gonna take out my pin, of course, for safety. And now I'm just gonna do back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's pretty much what I'm doing here itself to get the elastic really nice and stable. So just back and forth. So sorry if you're not seeing the machine itself. My hands is in the way. But again, I'm just going back and forth. You can tell back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, just to make sure that that part is sealed nicely. And guys, you could also do this with needle and thread as well. So if you don't have a sewing machine, a hair crunchie would make easily. You just have to take some time and thread your machine and do it with needle and thread. So you see right now, so let me turn the camera again here. So right now I'm very sealed and settled here. There's no going anywhere right now. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do here, guys, is, so this part, it could be a little bit challenging, but you just have to take your time because you have to pull the fabric apart now. So I want to pull the fabric apart. Just, separate them a bit because it's crunched up together. And I'm going to fold my opening here, right? Fold it together and then I'm going to pin it across. Very, very simple. All right. So what I would always suggest to do, guys, if you want, you could do hand stitching here. There's something called a slip stitch. You could do it. If not, you could also go ahead and do a machine stitch, but you want to make sure that you have a thread that match the fabric, okay? It's very important to have a thread that match the fabric, especially if you make it as a gift for someone. Just have a thread that match the fabric and makes life easier. Now, I don't have a yellow thread here because I'm just teaching you this as a very fun and easy project. But again, now what we're going to do, we're going to be sealing here. So just a little edge stitch right here, just to seal the deal, and then we are on our way. So let me turn one of my camera here again, and I'm going to seal it down. So you just take your time, take out the pin right at the very edge. Okay, guys, right at the very edge. Just take your time. So I'm going to go back and come forward, and it could be a little challenging here. Just take your pin out. My needle is exactly on my pin. Okay, so take my pin out nicely. And you're gonna just sew the edge together. That's it. Okay, and you can make this out of scrap, guys, like 5 inches in width, 20 inches in length fabric. You could make it out of scrap fabric, like fabric that you doesn't really use much. Again, it doesn't have to be that long or that wide. You could make it just a little bit. If you have a little bit of fabric, you could definitely make it as well. Okay, all right, so we're almost done here, and we are done. There you go. All right, like I said, guys, always you could make this, you could seal the deal here with a thread that a thread that match, sorry, don't mind me, a thread that actually match. So this is it here, very simple, very basic, very, very basic itself. It's very cute. You give it as gift. You make a couple of them as gift for your, I don't know, for someone itself. The holiday season is coming up, and that's how simple it is, guys. All right, so I just wanted to do a quick DIY live, let you know that if you do need the sewing pattern and you're on my email list, open your email. It's at the bottom. Just select it down. You can download it over and over. It's an absolutely free hair crunchy pattern. So it kind of save you from measuring. You just cut it out, stick them together, and there you go. You could get your hair crunchy. So you could go ahead and make many, many, many hair crunchy in just a couple of minutes. That's it. All right, guys. So I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today. I will be doing more live itself. I do have my co-partner, my husband, with me. Maybe one day he'll be joining me on the live, so that would be awesome. Thank you guys so much for those who have been following me. If you want to learn to sew, yes, for all those who've been replying my email and say, are you in person? Yes, we are in person. We're teaching sewing classes. We have a class starting very soon, Friday, Saturday, and Monday. We have a new class starting. So get on board, learn to sew. Love you guys. My name is Jaleese. I'm a strong faith believer. I believe that Jesus Christ is the answer for this generation. Just to let you know that he loves you and waiting for you to get to know him. Tata, have yourself a good day. Again, my name is Jaleese. This is Infinite Modesty Design. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.